Ooh, it's the Halloween episode. While I was driving here, I was thinking to myself, how much scarier would it be instead of like real ghosts that would come out and demons during Halloween, if it was all the skeletons in your closet would come out. Dude, no joke. I was driving and it gave myself the shivers. That'd be really scary. Then Halloween would be terrifying.
Yeah.
For most people.
Right.
Who do you think doesn't have any skeletons in their closet? That's tough.
Yeah.
Michael? Do you have skeletons in your closet?
Doesn't everyone?
Oh, dude, that is such a Michael answer.
Yeah, the
It drives me
assassin
crazy.
over there.
Doesn't everyone? Yeah, I'm asking you. If you have an Alexa, all you got to do is say, "Hey, Alexa, play Adobe Radio," and then boom, Adobe Radio is playing. Real quick, we have a Patreon for our listeners right now, and I just want to say thank you so much to all of our new supporters on Patreon. We really appreciate you guys. We also have a few new reviews on iTunes. It literally takes a second on your app. You just go boop, and that's it. 5 stars. Best podcast ever. You can write a little review. We appreciate that. And we have some new followers on our Instagram and social, a lot actually. And I just want to say thank you to you guys for supporting us. And if you're listening live right now on Adobe Radio, tweet at me. Because I love to talk to you while the show is going on. Say, "Oh, Wesam, I can't believe you said that." Or, "Wesam, you're completely wrong about that." And I'll be like, "Oh, well, too late." You know? No, I really appreciate the live tweeting with you guys. It's fun. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else on our plate before we get started today, gents? No? Nothing?
I think we're good.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, for a very appropriate Halloween episode, we have good friend, phenomenal actor, Derek Mears, coming on the show today. You might recognize him from his most recent project, Swamp Thing, also Friday the 13th, a bunch of other TV shows. The guy has over 100 credits on his IMDb. So, let's give a warm welcome to Derek Mears. Woo!
Where am I sitting?
Right here. Right here. There you go. You got your headphone. You got your water. Hi. I was telling you right before you walked in, yeah. Oh, there you go. These are tricky chairs.
Yeah.
They're tricky. You always look so fit and so good.
Magic. It's all magic. I cast spell upon people's eyes, and that way they don't know the actual truth. But no. It's just I just try to train and be ready for whatever comes next. Like either for most of my jobs, I either gain weight or lose weight. So I'm trying to have this like neutral stance now, where I don't have to jump so far.
Oh, okay.
Because there was a time
Yeah.
a couple of years ago where I chased different shows where I was super thin for one show, and then I bulked up, so I knew they were going to do this other feature coming up for this other show, and I got really big. I met with them. They go, "We think you might be too big for the role. We really like you." So I immediately 2 weeks shredded weight again.
Wow.
Then it came back in. Then that show was actually canceled. Then I was up for a different part on like a Fox comedy to be a series regular, and went to studio, and they're like, "We really like that guy, but he's just a little too thin. Like, is there any way So I was literally like behind trying to catch up the entire time. And I spent a summer out of work because I was just off on the size and weight.
So what is the ideal weight for you? Because you're 6'4"?
6'5".
6'5".
Yeah. 6'5" and full of dumb. No, my ideal weight is probably about 230 or
230.
so. But I can bump up or bump down or tone up or tone down, and
That's great.
it's kind of crazy as you're getting older. It takes a little bit longer now where it's like, "No, come on, body, do what I want you to do. Like, you're supposed to do this." And it just sometimes doesn't listen and acts like a little baby pants.
I know. I just turned 32 recently, and I'm 155 or 160 right now. And I like it. I like this weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's...
Well, you're always fit. You're always...
I try. I've been getting a lot of the tummy, you know what I'm talking about. That little tummy stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. A buddy of mine actually mentioned that. He was like, before I got into my 40s, he says, "I'm telling you, man, when you hit your 40s, things change. Like, I haven't changed anything, but my metabolism's slow, but just right here in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, it gets a little, I mean, he's a fit dude. Like, he
Right.
is just like rock, but his like, I can't
Dude.
eat what I normally do.
Right? Oh, just keep this kind of close to. Yeah, there we go. You're perfect now.
gonna-
Yeah, I noticed that I try to be 2 weeks away from being ripped. Like you can see my abs.
yeah.
Because I work out core, and I'm sure you do too. But it's just this nice layer of bread. I call it. 'Cause I love bread.
Exactly. That's my
Pita bread.
My pizza, it's my pizza and then burger zone where I'm like, wow, I gotta have pizza and burgers. That's one thing I was super stoked was when I did Swamp Thing. I was like, wait a second, like this is gonna be an actual suit, and I don't actually have to like have my body painted.
Oh my gosh,
this is great. I can have burgers. I can have
Yeah.
all kinds of pizza. Like life is amazing.
What's your go-to, like? I don't want to say guilty pleasure, but like that food, you're like, okay, I can't eat this 3 days in a row.
I don't know if there's any food like that because I'm like I can do what I want.
Right?
Give me the food. I don't know why. Like it changes over the years, but
Yeah.
like, I'm so hooked on. If you have tacos, I'm like, yeah, tacos. I'm in. Let's do
Yeah.
it. Clean, super good.
I'm a sandwich guy.
Really, what's your go-to sandwich?
Burgers or gyros.
Really?
Yeah, but it's hard for me to find a good gyro in town. I haven't found it yet.
There isn't a good gyro in town.
There isn't?
No.
Oh,
I've been looking.
Wow. That's a bold statement. That's a bold statement. But I support that statement. And if you're listening to this and you're like, you got to try this place, please let me know. Because
Let us know.
yeah, let us know. Because my parents' restaurant, when they had it, we used to carve the gyro meat, but we do it a little differently. We'd carve it thicker. And then with all the fat and juices that would like drain from the rotisserie, we would put it in the like little hot unit, and then all the shavings of meat, we would let it soak in that fat, and then we'd put it on the sandwich. Now, was this healthy for you? Probably not, but it was the most tasty thing ever. Oh my gosh. And we made a homemade pickled jalapeno sauce, which is basically pickled jalapenos and just blended to like a paste, and you just put it on there with the tzatziki sauce. Oh my gosh.
Just tzatziki alone. I'm like, yes, give it to me.
My story isn't as, cute. Mine is we had a drunk food place at college. It was amazing. Knew the owners.
Thank you, Michael. There you go.
That's why I love you.
Yeah, there you go.
That's amazing. Check out my multi-level story. Step 1, and that's it. Wait. You said multi-level. Why is? Oh, it's great. I love it. In and out.
Question: whenever you're working out, is there a favorite type of workout you do, or you switch it up as well? Because I have to switch mine up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I get bored.
I get bored, but also I just had the body confusion because it depends upon what kind of show that I have that I'm doing coming up. I'll adapt my training for that.
Okay.
But also where it's always having so my body doesn't become accustomed to what I'm doing. It's always a surprise for it.
Gotcha.
I'm talking like my body like it's my own little baby.
Oh,
Like,
it's your machine.
Yeah.
It's I just got into yoga again, which I didn't realize I was craving so much. So here was the dilemma. Last time we talked, I was trying to find a good jiu-jitsu school. And recently, in the last couple months, I was kind of searching for one. And I tried a couple out, and I love the class. Here's the issue. I go way too hard. And it becomes a competition. And I got my ass kicked in all the classes because everybody's just amazing, and I loved it. I felt very white, like a white belt. I didn't know anything, and it was great. But I left. My body was just like, oh my God, I can't keep doing this, for fear and concern that like if I start pushing myself even further, oh crap, I injure myself,
Then you
or
can't work
or if I get elbowed in the face and stuff. And that was a major concern for me.
Yeah.
And I wore the headgear with the. That was protecting my ears.
So the cauliflower ears.
Yeah, but I hate wearing that thing for 2 reasons. It doesn't feel comfortable, and I feel ridiculous wearing it.
Yeah, it's tough because also you get hooked up and it's hard to get out of positions where there's no room for that to fit in.
Right.
Slide out.
But the feeling I got leaving those jiu-jitsu classes is the same feeling I get when I leave a really good yoga class. So I was like, okay, cool. I can get the same benefit by doing something else that's less, I wouldn't say strenuous on my body, but less chance of me getting injured. That'll make my mind and body feel good. And so I was like, okay, let's go yoga. I can go, I can be in competition with myself rather than, you know.
I find back when I was training on a regular basis that when I was doing jiu-jitsu that it also parallels to other things that you do in life. So when you have like you go and you spar, you roll for a while, you have a certain level of like kind of self-balance and zen of that confidence. So you can build confidence with that and then use that confidence to slingshot into other things that you might be having like a bad week on acting, you might have a bad week with painting or whatever other things that you do.
Right.
But to have that pillar go, oh, I did that and I can handle myself that way. Okay, maybe I can do this.
Yeah.
I was out of breath, ready to die and throw up. But it's like, wait, I can push myself mentally and write that way. So I don't have to like, it's just a workout for my brain and not so much my body.
Yeah. I think Stellar Adler said the most important thing for an actor to take care of is their mind. And I was like, oh, wow. That makes total sense.
Yeah, because we can all go crazy for what we do for a living.
Gosh.
If you get too close to something, a character, you can. Some of these roles, like I was just watching. My girl, my wife is into Peaky Blinders.
Yeah,
rightfully so. The show is just the acting in the show is through the roof. But some of the stuff like that Cillian Murphy has to do, I kept going. You have to realize he's doing this week after week after week. So that emotion, that mania, or that stress,
yeah,
you all take it onto your body, but your body doesn't know that it's not real because we're as actors we're lying emotionally to our bodies as well. I go, I'm so curious to different actors' techniques about how they cleanse things, or because I have my own, of course,
right?
But I'm always fascinated, also with just artists in general, with their technique and what inspires them or how they operate. There's no right or wrong, but I just find that own personal journey so fascinating.
Oh my gosh, you nailed it on the head. So a few weeks ago, I was suffering some really bad anxiety. I had some bad like a medical thing that was going on, and I'll tell you in the break.
Copy.
I was focusing 95% of my time, like thinking about the 0.0001% most unlikely, most negative scenario.
Yeah.
And it was causing me so much anxiety that I lost like 5 pounds in the week.
Wow.
I wasn't eating. I was nauseous. I was just constantly in like having like a panic attack like once or twice a day. And I was just in a fucking mess for weeks. And it's crazy to, like your mind, how powerful it is, and how even after like I took the medicine, everything was good. Afterwards, still, I was like, wait a minute, is it coming back? Like I became like I started spotlighting, where I was like, oh no, it's coming back. Wait, is that the pain again? No, it's not the pain again. And man, it's freaking crazy how much power your mind has over the physical being. So yeah, it makes sense that if you're acting in something in a stressful situation and you're a good actor, then of course you're going to be feeling it physically in your body. And that's why I like yoga, to help me practice getting into that like centered, relaxed state, meditative, where I'm like, okay, cool. Now I can get out of that stressful situation just by focusing on something else.
Beautiful. But tacking on to your anxiety, I can't tell you how many artistic friends, no matter what their mediums are, because of I think a lot of it is because of the current global atrocities that are happening. And everyone is, as artists who are sensitive, we're waking up, we're turning on our social media, and we're looking at the news and what's happening now. Yeah. And we're starting the day in like an information pollution and environment where you're like, and you're walking out the door going, and you're already on edge. So your center point is already knocked so far to the right, and you feel off balance, and their anxiety is just growing and growing. So then when you add your own personal anxiety and things that you're dealing with on top of that, you're just spiraling out of control already. So you're driving, you're yelling at some people you don't normally yell at. And it's like, it's all like us. I believe it's I don't believe in the us and them mentality, but it makes you like pull over going, well, I bet that's the type of person who just cut me off, like part of that tweet that I read this morning, and they're tied to that or whatever. But I keep seeing so many artist friends who are just going like, are you feeling down like in the bogs? And like, yeah, because it's hard to create with, while you're seeing like the world burning in a sense and going like, hey, here's a funny thing. Do you guys like puppies? And you're like, it doesn't seem real. You feel like you want to put your attention to that fire that's happening rather than talking about puppies.
Meditation and again, yoga, going back to it, helps me prepare myself for the day or helps me release that stress for the day. So this has happened, the same feeling with yoga, but after one of the jiu-jitsu classes, I was drenched, man. I have my dad sweat. I don't know if you know what that is, where you're just...
No, please explain.
Okay, so my dad sometimes, all the time on Sundays, he would find something to fix, and he would just start sweating, like while fixing it, and he would just be drenched. We call it Sam Quiche sweat, dad sweat. And so I get that. And after the jiu-jitsu class, I was just drenched, and I felt so good, and I got killed 20 times in class, and I was just like, man, I feel so good. I feel so exhausted. A car almost hits me and my brother. Okay. And usually I would have freaked out, gotten really aggro. I just kind of stopped, looked at the car, looked at the driver, and I noticed immediately they were like apologetic.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like I just like, oh no, it's fine, no worries. Like, and I just kept walking along with her. And it was such a beautiful interaction because it could have gone so negative so quickly. And I'm like, I need that in the mornings. I need that in the evenings.
Yeah.
That like physical stress, like not stress. It's the physical exertion. I don't know. There's something about it with a meditation.
Well, it kicks your dopamine. It gives you that dopamine high because you're working out physically. But it's also I use the analogy of like a cheetah in a cage.
Yeah.
Where like there's a primal thing for us as human beings where like you want to be let out of the cage and stretch the muscles and run to your fullest extent and like.
Yeah.
And it's almost like being in the moment of the now where you're enveloping life and going I'm alive. Like I'm breathing heavy. I'm tired. I'm doing the maximum that I can, and now I'm just like bleh. It's so refreshing.
It is. You know, on the opposite end of what you were speaking about, when, you know, artists being so sensitive, they feel kind of like all the negative things going on in the world. Do you ever get the other feeling where you see so much beauty in like the simple things, or something really beautiful happens in front of you and you get emotional because it's so beautiful?
I do that with commercials now. Where I see something where I'm 6'5", made of murder, and my wife next to me, are you crying? And shut up! That towel is really soft. You don't understand. But no, it's the craziest thing. Like movies that I'm not supposed to cry at. Like I'm so locked in, and I think emotionally and rhythmically into what's going on. Like I'm in that situation or that scenario, and it makes us parallel our own life stories that tie into that for mythology. So we're like, and I just at one point, I remember watching beginning of last year. When I watched The Haunting of Hill House with Mike Flanagan, the director and writer, big fan of his work. At one point, watching Haunting of Hill House, I looked over at my wife. My face, it was like ugly crying, like where I had like swollen eyeballs, like snot going. And I looked at her and I go, look at my face. And she's like, yeah. And I go, no, as an artist, this is what you want. Like he affected me. Like this, hats off to them. Like as an audience member, this is what I would take a picture and send my cryy face. And just to go like, thank you so much. And she's like, okay. I'm glad you're enjoying it, honey.
Dude, it's amazing how you could be feeling everything in the world, and then somebody else right next to you is just like, I don't feel that right now, but okay.
Luckily, she was crying too. Like,
okay, good.
I'll throw her I'll pull her with me under my own bus that I threw myself under. But she was completely like locked into it as well.
By the way,
we're
going to talk about it later on, but your wife's photography is just so cool.
I'm so proud of her. Like today's actually our anniversary.
What?
Our 1 year anniversary. Yeah, is today.
Congrats, man.
Oh, I'm so lucky, man. Like I got to marry my best friend. I keep going like, you don't exist on paper. Like, are you kidding me? Like that. We don't. If there's an argument or a misunderstanding somewhere, it's not really an argument. We argue to understand and not to win. So it's like, oh my god, like, well, it might be because of this, because like maybe I didn't have a proper breakfast, and like my like low blood sugar right now, and I think I'm a little bit short, so my apologies. And so we'll try to figure out like where everyone's coming from, but it's never attacking the other person. We've always supported each other, and I've never been in a relationship like that. And she's amazing. But her photography, seeing her grow, because her background before getting into photography was painting. Mm-hmm. And the little quick story of how she got into it blew my mind. I was working on a film in Iceland, and she was with me, and I would go film during the day, and she would go off and take, with her camera phone, just take random shots and explore, the towns, and then come back at the end of the day, she would share what she had shot. Yeah. And I'm looking at some of her pictures, and I'm like, oh, what filter did you put on that? Oh, no filter. No, but how did you crop, for your composition? And she's like, no, I go, okay. I remember the moment, like, vividly, where I go, you see the world in a different eye than I do. Yeah. I go, like, you're a natural with this. Like, this is crazy. So when we came back to the U.S., she got like one of those like little T3i cameras, like a base model Canon, and I just wanted to see what she would do with it. And so she started running around and taking these just amazing photos. I'm like, okay, let's see what you do with a lighting kit. And like she just ran. And a lot of my professional photography friends and celebrity friends are like, hey, can I shoot with her? Hey, can I talk to her about? It's all self-taught. And at one point she did intern under my friend Chad Michael Ward, who does a lot of goth erotica photography, but she
I like that.
She picked up really fast, and just like he was so generous with his teachings, but she has a special knack where a lot of photographers have their go-to or their style, their setup with lighting, and they just put different people in front of those lights and take different pictures. And so the
looking at current events.
No worries. I figured.
And what she'll do is similar, because she's an actress as well. And she knows about, with TV and film, we're telling modern myths, and everyone has like their own personal arc or their own personal story that they're selling.
Right.
She'll sit down and talk with a person just to get to know who they are, and because of what they're giving off and the stories that they're kind of telling in their lives, she'll adjust lighting, the colors, and the backdrop. She'll move things all around just to highlight whatever she thinks that essence of that person is. So she adapts to them, and I've seen people like they'll be over doing photography shoots, like editorial or posters for movies or whatever, and some people they have this is my smiley face, like this is my tough face, and she's like, you're an actor, you don't have to do that, because right now you're projecting, you're not actually being. Right. So like she'll make up little scenarios and going, okay, you're at a wedding and you see your ex, your ex-wife, who cheated on you with somebody before, across the room. Go, and the person will give like a look or whatever, and she'll capture that look, or go in your head, like you want a smiley face. Think of someone think of a joke that your friend just told you that you heard recently, and think of them and laugh at their joke and relive that moment, that connection, and they'll do it in their head. And I tell you, like I've seen people come in the beginning be so stiff and kind of cold, and by the end of the shoot they're like laughing and playing, and they have these just extraordinary shots. So she has a gift of bringing who you are out and capturing it on camera, and her humility is through the roof. She's like, I want people to be happy. Like she's like, will I ever be like, every time she turns in people's pictures she gets a little bit of anxiety, which is the cutest thing in the world. She's like, I just want them to like what they, I hope I see them right. I want them to get work, and she has so much invested, like she cares almost too much.
Right.
And she's wonderful. Sorry, I went on a tangent going like
No, I love hearing about it, because first of all, she's extremely talented, and you talking about it now because I need some new shots, so dude. I might have to be in contact with you soon, and her, and I just think it's freaking crazy still. I know photographs have been around since what? Now, I'm gonna mess this up. I'm gonna guess 200 years.
Yeah,
right? 1800s.
Yeah, so around 200
Nailed
years. I have no
idea
either.
I'm mid 1800s.
Mid 18? Okay, almost 200. Almost 200. So that to me is still nuts.
Yeah.
Now let's think about like moving pictures. That's almost now 100 years old, or 100 years old. Like moving pictures.
A little over. Yeah.
So a century.
Around there.
All right.
That's like a generation.
Yeah.
That's still
young.
And compared to the whole human race, that's so small.
Absolutely.
Of amount of time. And so the idea of photographs, I think.
Oh wait, 1895.
Oh, so a little over 100. So
that was when the Lumiere brothers shot the
train?
Yeah, I think that was the train.
See, I know my.
I love that your show has you guys actually fact checked, because I just lie up a storm and say, I know what I'm doing.
Oh, we have to. We have to. I don't know anything. If Michael wasn't here, I'd be like, hold on.
Yeah, 3 hours later, you okay?
No, I just think
1800s is for photography.
But the idea of having this sheet of paper with the picture or the image of a person, and it's not a painting, so clear in front of you, I am still amazed at that.
For sure.
And I think we take that for granted. We take a bunch of things for granted in this day and age. And so recently I've been trying to okay, let's look at everything we have in our lives. This phone, wherever my phone is, there it is, oh my gosh.
Magic.
It's, yes.
Yeah, it literally is.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Any song that's ever been written, you can have on your phone in 5 seconds.
That's so crazy.
What? Like, if you said that to somebody in like 1920, they'd be like, "Oh, you're a witch.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're out of your mind."
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's a little late for witches.
Michael,
You
this
want
is
me-
Wesam's world.
You want me to be the fact checker?
There's always witches. The Wiccan community is a huge supporter of Wesam's world. Okay.
No. But like the accusation of
I know.
witchcraft.
I know. It's a joke. Anyway,
That's a hard thing also nowadays, but a lot of times you have to explain that something is a joke and going, hey, just so you know.
I know.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
I know. Real quick,
Yeah.
before we take a quick break, things you see in life that are beautiful. I've been going on Instagram videos, and there are videos with like babies and kids with baby animals. And I came across this one video of. It was just like a 2-year-old or something, or 3-year-old, and he's on a walker, and he's using his walking sticks for the first time, and he knocks on the door, and there's these other little kids, and he's like, "Look, I'm walking, guys. I'm walking," and did I start crying? Yeah. Actually, we're gonna find it, and I want to show it when we come back from the break.
Oh, please do.
All right, we'll be right back with Derek. We'll talk about current events, McDojo video, which I'm really excited about, and some other stuff. Bye. Do you know McDojo Life on Instagram?
What is it? No, I do not.
McDojo Life is one of my favorite accounts on Instagram. And recently they just posted a video which is they basically this guy, he posts videos of fake martial artists trying to teach real martial arts using like key or like really horrible schools of martial arts to the point where some of it is infuriating, some of it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And this morning, I'm about to go on my run.
Yeah.
I'm like in my car and I'm like, "Oh, this guy he's coming on the show today." So, Michael, if you don't mind playing the video for us.
Obviously, one of the worst situations you can possibly get into in a multiple attacker situation is where you get cornered in. Where you get cornered in and people just start jacking on you in the corner somewhere or up against the wall.
Okay.
And you can actually defeat as many
First of all, worst choice of words.
Yeah.
Continue.
attackers that are here. In fact, we've tested this with as many as 35 guys. So let's say that right now...
Wait, what? This
35!
If you're in the middle of a riot somewhere and 35 guys decide to attack you against the wall, I don't care who you are.
My guy, I'm speechless right now.
All right.
Anyway.
All right, keep going.
In this example, everybody's holding me right up, like pushing up against me. While I can't move forward, I can move laterally because physics would show that I have lateral movement here. I didn't really pay attention to physics, so I don't know what physics principle it is. All I do is take his chin, move laterally, and they all fall against one another. Now let's take it another step further. Let's say we don't just have a bunch of guys who just think it's kind of fun to pin me up against the wall. Doesn't sound right, does it? If they're punching away, I'm trying to guard. I just take this wrist, pull through as I come through here, and that lateral motion that I have, is going to make them all fall upon one another while I escape out of here.
Yeah,
obviously one of the worst.
Okay, this guy's out of his mind.
Yeah.
The guys were like punching. You've been punched in the face before, right?
Yeah.
Anybody listening, if you've been punched in the face once,
Yeah.
that's a pretty shock. Like that's a big shock to your system.
Yeah.
Can you imagine 4 or 5 guys punching you in the face?
And if the strength that they're packed in like that, we've seen, give football, for example.
Yes.
Trying to run through a group, that's not 35 guys. And if you hit the guy with the ball trying to jam through, like,
right.
It's the physics is force and strength going, you have no momentum, you're done.
Yeah.
That's why zombies are afraid. They're not strong. We're afraid of zombies. They're not strong. There's just a million of them on top of you. It's like ants. You can't do anything.
Exactly. At the same time, these kind of videos are funny at first, but then you realize, oh no, they're charging people classes for these things.
Yeah.
That's criminal behavior because you're lying to them, and then you're going to put them in danger whenever they're really in a dangerous scenario.
Or you're going to give them overconfidence and teach them something horrible. Like with stuff like this with young martial artists and also with actors. When I see someone taking advantage of somebody, going, "This is how you do it, bro." Like how do you sleep at night because you are lying right now? Ridiculous.
Do you think these people are like
Delusional?
delusional, or do they have ill intentions?
I think a lot of people, these type of teachers and whatnot, that they start to buy. They get that sense of power, like power corrupts, where they follow what I say and do, and I'm going to do this. And there's an extent where they start to believe their own BS in a sense. So, it's sad. I don't. You want to correct them, and then you have guys who come in who will set them straight,
right?
And then their whole world is rocked because it's either a fluke or that's because they honestly believe that they can do these magical powers, which is not cool to a whole new, like to someone who doesn't know better.
No. I used to teach a beginning Taekwondo class and advanced Taekwondo class to children and a beginning one for adults a while ago. But it was just the basics, you know what I mean? Like we weren't like going through any kind of really complicated things.
Yeah.
And I could only like the amount of responsibility I felt. I was like, oh, I have to go in there with a game plan. I have to make sure like I know all the students, know their weaknesses, their strengths. Like it's a whole thing. And for these people to come
and trust you.
Yes, they trust you. And for these guys who come up here and they show these like self-defense videos, he said 35 guys. I can't get over that. Like you said, football or rugby. Yeah. And those guys are strong guys.
Yeah.
There's like 3 guys on them and they're on the ground already. Like, come on, man. Anyway, I thought this was going to be funnier for me, but it actually got me angry.
Now we're mad. Stupid. Oh, so funny. Yeah, some of those old style martial art teachers, like, I could kill 19 men in one single finger poke. And you're like, you cannot. That's one thing I love about the UFC and cage fighting.
Yes.
Is like you've found out what works and what doesn't work. And
yes.
Different combinations of things. And also you learn through the years of fighting that because of one technique, I always love when you meet someone who's like a yellow belt and they just started taking martial arts, right? Well, the mentality that I do. If you were to attack me like this, what I would do,
right?
I would say, well, first you probably you drink like 9 shots and then fight because that's kind of the simulating. When your brain is not working, it's as if when that adrenaline kicks in. It's like being drunk.
Yeah.
And I go, so what you're going to do, you don't know what you're going to do. Like a real fighter, it's like improv. You're in the split second of moment. You have to shift and adapt to what's going on. You can't go, I'm going to do technique number 1, followed by number 2. And it doesn't work because you don't know. No,
and I've gotten to an age where, maybe because I have so much to live for, but I don't want to fight anyone. Dude, I don't have any want or anything like it because I see what happens to real street fights, like to people in real street fights.
Oh yeah, brutal.
Oh my gosh.
You can have permanent damage, lose an eye, like for nothing.
For nothing. You ever been when was the last time you've been to Vegas?
2 months ago.
Okay. You guys been to Vegas recently? Either one of you guys?
Last year.
Last year? Do you get this vibe? Last time I went was years ago, and I didn't go because of it. It's the middle of the night. I'm walking in the streets. You know, people are busy. It's like a Friday or Saturday night. But like the amount of guys bumping into you trying to start something, that's a thing. And I was like, oh, they just want to fight. And I'm like, I feel this is dangerous right now. I want to go back to the hotel room. I don't want to fight anybody right now.
Yeah, it's that mentality of like there's something else irritating them and they're not dealing with it, so they want to pass it on to somebody else.
Yeah.
And it's heartbreaking to me because I've gotten to the point also, it's almost become like almost a pacifist where I always call it the Swayze Roadhouse technique. Where it's like be nice until it's time not to be nice. Like I've even told people like, hey man, like you can call me what you want to call me. Like don't want to. I don't want to do this. Like when they get aggressive, whatever. You try to use the words and try to disarm them that way and go, it's not worth it. Like because back in the day, it's that gunfighter syndrome. Like, whoa, I trained so and so. Okay, you're gonna.
Yeah.
I would feel horrible. Like I was on a show once. Let me back up. Where the guy next to me in the makeup chair, he just got out of prison because he was an amateur boxer and he got an altercation outside of a bar and the guy started it and kept coming at him.
No.
And he clocked the guy and the guy went out and he fell and hit his head on a curb and died. And he went to because he had, supposedly a martial skill level, he went to jail for a while, and he just got out to start doing film. And I'm like, this is crazy.
How was
That's not
his
worth it.
demeanor? Was he like pretty like regret? I assume he was regretful, and it was
Yeah.
it impacted him.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's just. When I used to teach, I used to tell students, any way you can get out and like run, like it, or get away safely, do that. Forget the pride, forget the ego. That's why I love the new the last Star Wars so much.
Oh.
Because the intelligence behind Luke's decisions of going, oh, it's the opposite effects of the duality of like light and dark. Going, if you take light away or the Jedi's away, the Sith will die as well because they need each other to survive. There's no push and pull. And so I thought it was the coolest, ballerest move to have him be zen and go, I'm not going to fight. So when he's fighting with Kylo, it's all defensive. And at the very end, go, oh, like that is a fully evolved way of thinking. But a lot of fans didn't like it. It's like, no, Luke's a badass. I wouldn't do this and kick ass. Like, yeah, because we're all programmed that way with TV and film. But,
Right.
But as a society, as a Zen, like a meditation higher level,
Yes.
of basically what monks are, or Jedis are monks, the higher level of evolved thinking going, oh, I'm understanding before we're even to, the fisticuffs or the physical violence, if I remove myself, there's nobody for you to fight
Right.
except for yourself. And so you're like, oh, I love that mentality.
Dude, you just. By the way, we're not high.
Your microphone almost got a spit take. Hardcore. Oh, that was amazing.
I have. Again, one of the reasons why I went into yoga was to be in competition with myself. Because that's when I feel like, okay, I can. This is the time for me to work on me. Where do I see my mind go? Be the watcher of my thoughts. I don't know if you've ever heard that quote.
Oh, for sure.
I think it's Rumi. I'm not sure who said it, but who was that? Was that Rumi?
Correct.
That was us.
That was us. Okay. Whenever I hear my thoughts, or I hear myself going, "Oh, you're getting tired. Well, put your foot down, or you can relax now." I'm like, "Oh, no. That's a negative thought. I'm fine physically."
Yeah.
And once you start being aware of that,
Yeah.
oh man, it loses all its power. You don't deny it, but I acknowledge you exist, but you don't have any power right now.
Yeah.
You don't have the power that you had before.
Well,
Does that make sense?
There's a similar concept. There's a book called The Untethered Soul, and they talk about the voice inside of our head isn't us, because the chattering is kind of, oh, you should do that. But like if it's cold outside, you can feel that it's cold. You don't have to say in your head, oh my gosh, it's cold here. You already know. So the voice isn't our own voice.
Right.
So what is that? Who are we? So it's almost like you're watching, type of the person watching the voice itself.
Yeah.
So it's taking that step farther back.
Yes.
And even on the physical side, the sense like I believe like we're energy beings in a monkey body.
Yeah.
Where like anything I've done through like with massage pain or like fighting or something hurts or somewhere, if you take the mentality of going, this isn't my body, like it's my body, it's not who I am.
Yes.
It takes the pain and pressure away like at least by 20%. It's crazy going, oh, it's just my body's reacting this way because it's hitting nerves and it's going, ow, hey, if you move this way, we're going to break, and that's all that it's telling you. So when you kind of like are attuned to that and going, oh, that's what that is, and it's not, you don't take it personally, so you don't add those emotions to it.
Right.
And you go, oh, yeah, I shouldn't do that.
There's a level of awareness that a person has to have to do that. And the application to acting, for me, that popped into my head, is that connecting moment where you're really listening, you're really in tune with what's going on, and you don't have to think about your reaction. It just happens naturally because you're truly living in the moment.
Yeah.
And then that's where those magical moments happen, where something, oh, that I didn't plan that, and that was beautiful, and it's there, and then we keep following that, we keep following that. It's really
That's
beautiful.
the opiate and magic that I love in acting is that where you almost black out, like in some scenes where you're memorized, you've done your character, but you're in that improv moment where at the end, they're like, and cut. And having like a script supervisor come over and go, hey, that was really great or cool.
Yeah.
I like how you changed it. I'm like, I did? And because I don't remember, because I'll just kind of block out because I'm so into what's going on at the time.
Right.
And time just passes. So it's kind of like being in they talk about with athletes being on fire or in the zone. and where you're kind of lost in the material itself and everything else. It's like if your POV is a wide shot of the world, you're so focused on that close up of whatever it is that you're currently doing, and it's such a concentrated energy focus.
Yeah.
That it's beautiful because when you come out of it, I'm like, oh, we made magic. Oh, I don't believe I was present. Oh, I was. Okay, cool. It's crazy.
You ever wake up on stage or on set? Do you know what that means? Yeah.
No. I'm not sure, but explain to me.
I'm doing a monologue that I've done. For instance, it's happened twice that I can remember. I'm doing a monologue for the Laramie Project. We're playing all different characters, and there's just a series of monologues. And I'm in the middle of a monologue that I've done, I don't even know how many times. There's an audience, and I'm saying it, and then all of a sudden, I don't know if I'm in the beginning.
Oh, my
I don't know
God.
if I'm in the middle.
No.
I don't know if I'm in the end. No joke.
That's crazy.
And I'm staring into this, on all the people's faces, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is interesting. The sweats start coming, and I'm like, all right, instinctually, where should I start?
Yeah.
And that's where I went from. And luckily, it was okay. But it's a terrifying experience.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Absolutely.
When you just wake up from that, and you're like, oh, okay. And I know it sounds crazy, but when you're in that zone and you start being really aware of it, it's weird. It's weird. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll talk about current events, and we'll wrap this baby up.
Deal.
No, now we're back.
Let's make some memories. It's not as funny as the second time. Damn it.
I like your catchphrase.
I know. You said you wanted me to be like a little action figure. When you press it, I said, let's make some memories.
That'd be such a
What's my
positive-
pose if I was an action figure?
So probably something adorable. I could picture like an '80s fist to your chin and that smile, like
Vanity photo.
yeah, exactly.
this?
Just adorable.
I know.
Adorable and positive. Something like if you were in a puppy pound, it says, "You're gonna choose me."
What? Can you imagine me in a puppy container? Like you're going. That's some skit probably somewhere. I wanted to come up and visit you, and maybe train with you after these fires are gone.
Yeah.
I
Are you asking me or are you?
Yeah, I'm making a statement. I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but
Cool.
the fires are still going on, right?
Yeah, which is crazy. The first time they hit a couple weeks ago, we were close to being evacuated.
Whoa.
And it would be crazy because we have 6 animals, and I was out of town at the time, and I'm like, no. But now they're a little farther away. There's a new batch of fires, and it's just the craziest. Like you worry about people, and I have different friends in different areas, and I'm like, what do you need? Like if you need a place to stay, it's just so crazy. It blows my mind that somebody hates other people so much that I'm purposely going to go out and set random fires and put thousands of people's lives in danger, including the firemen who are the heroes trying to protect everybody else, just for whatever reason it is. I don't get it.
This fire was caused by someone?
I believe so. I don't know. Don't quote me. But
Okay.
the recent one, I believe someone was setting fires again.
Because what I was reading, it was another P&G, what's it called? The energy company?
PG&E.
PG&E, yeah. Their
faulty
fault because of unworked on.
They haven't kept up with the infrastructure.
Yeah, and they've somebody's wanting to
Can
make
we fact
some
check
corporate
who's
profit.
right about either arsonist or PG&E?
Yeah, because I believe one of the really big ones was the last year's, I think.
Oh yeah, that was
PG&E.
brutal.
Paradise. Yeah, they were saying that there is overwhelming evidence from that fire from last year.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they've. I don't think they're certain of what's caused this fire yet.
Right. That to me is so ridiculous. And a person who sets fires like that is obviously a criminal and should be locked away and is
Definite
dangerous.
mental illness for sure.
Absolutely. And it's the same kind of mentality when I see people tag stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? You don't really own that. Like the new highway they're building here on the 170? It's a brand new wall. It's not even finished. Actually, they haven't even really finished. And there's already a bunch of tagging on it. And I'm like, okay, cool.
I think it's people who feel disenfranchised who want to be heard and matter and go like, that was me. Look at me. They have some sort of like symbol for them existing and mattering, which is sad because you, in my opinion, if you back up to find the subtext of why they're doing it, and just if they could just get that from people just freely, they wouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
Which is I don't know.
Well, when these fires die down, I'd love to. If,
Come play. Absolutely.
Do you work out at a gym or your place, or what do you?
I
What do you do?
either do a gym or I have I've turned my garage and outdoors into I have a whole complex
What?
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
My eyes just lit up.
Yeah, it's just a blast. So but it depends on whatever you want to do. Like I have all kinds of stuff and come to the place and hang out and
Let's kill ourselves. Let's just go
for
nuts.
sure.
Let's not walk right.
That's so funny. Just not walk right.
I'm like, All right. What do we got on current events?
Current events are going to be a little different, but we're going to start with Peyton's.
Ooh.
We're gonna start with May.
Yeah.
Well, since it is the spooky season, we got spooky stuff happening. Have you heard of McCamey Manor?
No.
Okay, this is some messed up stuff. All right,
Oh my goodness.
this is one of those haunted houses. It's in Tennessee, I believe,
They have
You
one in
have to-
Tennessee and Alabama.
and
It used
in
to be in San
Alabama.
Diego.
Gotcha. This is one of those haunted houses, and it has a 40-page waiver. This is one of those haunted houses where they are allowed to do whatever they want to you. Like, whatever
You mean
they want to. They,
can
will
touch you?
physically
They can touch
torture
you,
you.
yeah.
Lock
They
you in
will touch
cages
you. There are times, like, they said, like, you agree, like, if you have broken bones, we are not responsible.
What?
Yeah, it's a 10-hour-long torture session, and people just sign up and go to it. And there's a $20,000 prize if you can make it through it. To this day, nobody has gone through it. They do it once a week, yearly, and they're psychopaths.
Yeah.
Like,
Wait.
This is the one they did a documentary on this place as well,
they've
right?
also, there's
Same
so
place or
much.
a different place?
Ooh, I don't know. But there's a couple places like this. This is one of the more famous ones. And the guy has like a YouTube channel where he like videotapes people going through the
I
process.
think so. They have a documentary on this gentleman.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
come on.
psycho.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you want to pay to be in Saw for real?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm cool.
Okay. This is very unsettling because I feel like the people who put this on
Yeah, it's
are
on
kind of
it's on Netflix.
the people who put this on are kind of like they could be sexual predators.
Yes.
Right.
1,000%.
So I hope no women are signing up for this, and
Well, that's
or
like
men.
The last one was a woman.
If you
Really?
watch
Signed up for it,
the
yep.
documentary, it comes off, the subtext is very predatory, where it's
Yeah.
like, it's kind of like that Dexter going, I have a thing, but here's a way I can get my kink or my fetish off.
Like
and-
legally, I can do this.
Yeah.
And
Dude, fuck them.
Oh, it's also
Yeah.
Seriously.
dum-dums who
No,
are
no,
like,
no, no.
I'll do it.
right,
Like, all
I can get through it all 10 hours. Let's go.
Oh,
No
but we
amount of
can't
money.
fight back? Okay. All right.
Oh yeah, you can't fight back. Is that the thing?
Nah.
Oh,
Well, plus they have you like gagged and blindfolded the whole time and like bound. Like, what can you do? It's a torture session.
Yeah, that puts a really bad taste in my mouth. These people should not be able to do this legally. That's stupid.
Yeah, it's, someone somewhere, something will go bad eventually.
Yeah.
Which it's Murphy's Law.
Yeah.
When it goes
Yeah.
wrong, eventually it will go wrong and it will all come down.
What a horrible and stupid way to spend your time and energy saying, you know what, I'm going to create this really negative thing and bring people in and cause emotional and psychological damage. But that's okay because they signed up for it, so I'm not morally responsible.
Yeah. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah. What's the next one?
A little bit on the lighter side. Let's.
Okay.
This isn't. This isn't necessarily a current event.
Okay.
It's just. It's an article about the top Halloween candy in every state.
Oh, okay.
So
Can we guess?
the question. Well, I mean, yeah, if you want.
I haven't seen it yet. Have you seen it?
No, not
Okay.
at all.
What do you think California is?
Dollars.
What? Wait, is that a candy?
They hand out dollars.
Oh, they.
No, joking. California. What would say California? California would be like, I know it's supposed to be candy, but it'd be like a Starbucks coffee or something.
Skittles. I don't know.
Skittles?
I see Skittles everywhere.
I don't know. I'm going to say Nestle Crunch Bar.
Okay. Okay.
Skittles.
Shut
Oh,
up.
come on.
Shut up.
That's amazing.
Seriously?
Yeah, Skittles.
Prove it.
Prove it.
Prove that I'm right.
Fact check your own fact checking.
Whoa.
This is stupid.
There you
That was a
go.
guess.
This is a
That
stupid
was a
game.
guess.
Stupid game. Whatever.
So now my question to you guys
Yeah.
Yeah.
is: what is your preferred Halloween candy and why?
Oh. That's a great question. Do you know off the top of your head?
I bounce through different ones, but kind of the staple is like the candy corn. I know it's horrible.
Oh,
I love it.
But I
Mr.
know
Mears.
why. I've been conditioned from a child. It's not my fault. It's like child abuse where it's like, you're going to have this. And it got to the point where I love this now. It's my own choice.
They
so.
raised you correctly.
Yeah. I
Candy
like
corn's
it.
the best.
It's so good.
Mr. Mears,
I know.
we live in 2019. You can change, sir.
Kale candy corn. No.
I would have rather you said that. I like the Trader Joe's milk chocolate peanut butter cups.
Reese's peanut butter cups
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Reese's. I completely get that.
or Milky Way. Caramel is a big favorite.
Growing up as a child, I loved the Crunch Bars.
Oh yeah, Crunch Bars. What was your favorite Halloween costume? Slight tangent.
No,
What are your-
that's one of the other ones.
what-
It's like
what-
what is a Halloween costume?
Oh, what is your as a child for everybody? Like, what was your like if you're the first thing that pops in your head? What was your favorite childhood costume that you wore?
Oh, anything like ninja or fighter or kind of like samurai or anything in the fighting realm.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, that was me.
amazing. Oh, I love it.
Men in Black, I think I met.
No way.
When is had like
Will
I
Smith?
bought
No, I'm
bought
kidding.
one of the
Just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
That's so funny.
bought one of those Star Wars guns and just pretended that was one of
Oh!
the guns from the.
That's acceptable.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Peyton?
Dude, Spider-Man. Just Spider-Man.
All right.
I would wear it throughout the year and go jump on my trampoline in the Spider-Man costume.
gosh.
Because I love
I
Spider-Man
love it.
so
as
much.
as an adult, my go-tos are anything that John Belushi was.
Yeah.
So I have very limited options.
Okay.
So
That's amazing.
I have the college sweatshirt, so I'm gonna shave and go as Belushi this year.
Great.
And
Oh,
then
nice.
Blues Brothers, another one. Mario, Super Mario.
That's
I've done that.
fantastic.
I don't see that. I'm kidding. I see it. What about you?
I think mine was my mom, when I was a kid at one point, I was so obsessed with comic books before comic books were super cool. My mom did one of those McHale's, like you go to the fabric store and build your own costume. So she built me a Batman outfit. Oh. And I was so excited, but I was like, wait, why is the face completely open? I go, no, it's supposed to cover the eyes. Oh, okay, cool. But she was so sweet and she worked so hard on this outfit, and she was so far behind for doing other work that she didn't have time to finish the boots. And so she's like, I had like spandex tights on, with my skinny like 8-year-old legs. And she's here, wear your cowboy boots. I go, Batman doesn't wear cowboy boots. Like, Mom. But the funny story was, oh my God, I was in the first grade. Because I remember going to school.
Yeah.
And the school bully was wearing like a HR Puff and Stuff, one of those plastic old school like rubber band in the back mask, and so at one point I remember he pushed me, and because I wore the cowboy boots, I slipped in the dirt and fell and ripped my part of my knee and part of my costume. And I was like, my mom worked so hard. Oh, and I remember going like, what would Batman do? And I stood up straight, and I've never done this before, and I walked across the schoolyard to the bully, and I grabbed his mask, pulled it all the way back so that the full Looney Tunes extension of the rubber band, and let go, and it slapped in his face. And he's like, oh, he started crying. I'm like, he's crying. I'm like, Batman, I did it. And so there's a ridiculous picture of me at home where I'm doing this like ridiculous action pose with a ripped knee, cowboy boots, open face Batman going like, thinking I'm the toughest dude in the world. And I go, that's all you have to do. So that's my favorite costume.
That's the clip.
Wow, yep.
I'm like Batman.
I learned a lot that day.
People hate it when I say this, and I don't care. But maybe because I act all the time and I dress up all the time, Halloween has lost its fun. Maybe I just need to find a way to get revamped about it.
You're telling me, brother.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You go through hours of makeup sometimes for some of this. What's the longest period of time to get ready for a project? Like 5 hours?
No, I think my record is my first big Hollywood movie was Wild Wild West, and though I don't think we needed to, it was 9.5 hours, which is crazy. I'm like,
Oh shit! Who were you in Wild Wild West?
I was the big metalhead guy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was
Oh my- I
super
remember it now.
thin inside the giant spider. I was
Yeah.
so nervous fighting Will Smith for the first time, and I'm like, multi-million-dollar. Pretend to punch him in the face. Don't be off. It was one of the best experiences.
Dude!
But that's how I got a lot of my start because of that show. I met Rick Baker,
Yeah.
Who's the godfather of makeup effects, and then they had that picture pulled up. Like how thin I am, like 185.
Oh my gosh.
But I met Rick, and Rick would be like, after that, he's like, "Hey, do you want to do Men in Black 2? Like, hey, do you want to come? Hey, I want to introduce you to Wes Craven." And because of him, I kept going like, Rick, like, why are you doing that? He was so complimentary to me, not in a bragging sense. He goes, first of all, you're an actor. And he goes, you're not just a monster guy. And he goes, with your alopecia, it's easier to glue things to you, but, with your height and your facial structure, he goes, what's unique about you is your proportions, your body measurements all equal out. They're equal, which is very rare. And he goes, so you're very symmetrical. And with your acting, he goes, I can make you into whatever I want. And, it represents me well. And I'm like, I want to cry. Like, you're the best human being. But yeah, it's just a weird journey because of meeting him and other opportunities. And I remember going to Wes Craven's office for the first time and like him behind, his giant desk and having this giant Swamp Thing poster behind him and him going like, so, Rick Baker tells me you're the guy. And I'm like, I don't know what that means, but thank you.
I don't know what that means.
I'm happy to be here. What do you want? And then I ended up doing Cursed, that movie Cursed with Wes Craven, playing the werewolf, which is crazy. I was a lady werewolf.
Nice.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Totally. The feminine side.
Isn't it funny how when you first start in the business, you're very green, you're very nervous, and then as time goes on, it becomes so normal, and you're still appreciative, hopefully, and you're like sitting with all these other big named people, producers, actors, and it just becomes like, oh no, this is my work, this is my career, this is my craft, this is what I love to do, and it's cool. Like those nerves for me aren't there anymore. It's more like I'm excited to work. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm envious of you because I still get that. I hate auditioning. I hate it so much. Like I would rather just do a self-tape for something because there's so much to do and there's so many fine points and you only have limited amount of information and going, okay, go. And I'm like, it's like putting a puzzle together and not having all the pieces and having the time. So I don't like doing that. I'd rather sit down and kind of talk with someone for a while. Kind of like there's a Norwegian style of auditioning and in the UK where once you're established, they know you can act. So you don't have to prove anything. A lot of times there's not, what I've been told is there's not even a script where you'll sit down with the creators and just talk ideas and philosophies about that. I did that. That's what we did with when I was up for, when I got cast for Twin Peaks. Lynch was that way, where you would sit down, and they would just record just you talking. There's no dialogue. There's nothing to memorize to go over or create a character. He wanted to know who you were as a person, because that way maybe you fit one of the other roles, or if he likes you enough, he would modify and write a role for you. And I was like, oh, this is dynamic. It takes all that kind of BS pressure. But even to the point of like, it's weird when you're in a regular basis, like being like when I was on a series regular on Swamp Thing, you're in that zone. So like the easiest part is being the series regular. It's always the hardest part is being a guest star or a co-star because you don't know rhythm or timing or tone, and you're meeting people for the first time and they've been here for 8 months and you're like, hi, nice to meet you, and hop in the car and nail your dramatic monologue, go. And you're like, I'm still getting comfortable. I'm trying to figure out what everyone's style is so I can add to it and not, detour from whatever their art is.
Right.
So that's my whole thing. I have a big thing about respect. And so I get that, like, okay, wait, what do you need? Like, what do you need? Okay, cool. I'll do that. I'll figure out where I belong in this whole picture, rather than having that I'm here and this is what I'm doing.
Yeah. That nervousness for me went away, the majority of it, with class. With
Really?
always practicing acting class
That
or
makes
practicing
sense.
acting. Because then it becomes a thing where, I've talked about this the last couple times on the show too, I see the formulas, like what to use in the script, or it becomes like, okay, yeah, I just need some time, I'll get it. And then I'll show them this is my rendition. Because I used to think that they'd go in there and they'd be like, it was all good, but he flubbed that one line.
Yeah.
We can't use him. Which is the most ridiculous thing to think. And I think a lot of it has to do with the way you come into a room.
True.
In my opinion. Of course, you have to do all the acting work and be creative and bold with your choices. But yeah, because I don't know about you, but I don't mean this in a bad way, but everybody's kind of trial by fire kind of thing, you know? Very few people I would feel nervous going into a room. Like, for instance, like, everybody's just trying to figure it out, you know? Like, the producers, they're rooting for you. They want you to be good.
Oh,
it's not
for
like
sure.
somebody's going like, okay, what's this guy coming in? You know, they want you to be good. So, yeah, everybody's kind of figuring it out. So that's what makes me go, okay, we're all on the same level here.
It doesn't change no matter where you are. Like that's what
Yeah.
I've learned over the years. There's always that next obstacle is the same exact thing. Like you're only good as your last job, and the creative edge. I try to tell younger actors my mentality is taking ownership is when you do go in that room. Of the analogy that I think when I talked about it before, the analogy I like to use is like you're supposed to draw something, and the casting director is like, okay, I need you to draw a barn with a sun and a cloud and one door. Like, okay, rather than going with every stroke asking their permission, going, is this what you want? Like, is this cool? Is this what you're looking for?
Yeah.
Rather than going, I've taken what you've given me, I'm going to turn my back to you now, and I'm going to draw my interpretation with my style of what you asked me to do. I'm still open to direction, going, okay, you make the house bigger, or the clouds a little darker, whatever. You're still able to take direction, but it's kind of like Picasso, where it's like we all know how to write letters, but with our handwriting, we have different styles because of who we are and what we bring to the project. So same thing with this, going, like you have Picasso doing it, going, why is there a giant eyeball in the middle of the house? Because that's Picasso. And if you're right for this project, and that style fits, awesome. But if not, it doesn't devalue me or for whatever. That's just how I do what I do. I'm just not right for this particular project, and I'll find something coming up that my puzzle piece will fit. If that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
So that way you can have ownership, and you're not just, I don't want to do. Okay, how do I get hired? And no, don't approach it. Respect yourself as an artist.
Right, and the way you get over that, practice.
Yeah.
Practice a lot. Before we finish up, Swamp Thing, I'm bummed out. I hope they get a season 2 somehow down the line.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, but great work, and I'm sure it was a blast working on that. From what we talked about.
Such a pleasure, like cast and crew, like the biggest hearts, and like I spoke to you before off camera. It's one of those shows how you think Hollywood's going to be before you go into Hollywood, because everybody, it didn't matter what department you were respected and as an artist, or whatever you brought to the project,
Right.
and there was no hierarchy of like, do you know who I am, or I've done this, or trying to control it. It was that just a group of people like oil and water, like trying to flow and change and adapt to each other. Oil and water that's a bad analogy.
No,
that's totally separate, by the way.
Yeah.
But just that blend of everyone together and adding their own color to create this beautiful picture. I'm very happy and proud of how the project turned out.
Like a warm, hearty soup.
Absolutely.
Derek, I always love it when you come on the show, and thank you for coming on today, man.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and you guys have been super duper fun. Not just super fun, super duper fun.
You're such a good human, man.
What? You are. Don't threaten me.
Oh,
I will punch somebody here in the face to prove you wrong.
Oh. We gotta go.
Everything was going so good that he threatened everybody. Happy Halloween.
Happy
idiots.
Halloween. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the show. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Peyton. Thank you, Steph. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Nice Guy Digital. Thank you, Adobe Radio. Thank you to all our new listeners, our new Patreon followers and supporters. We appreciate you guys so much. Be safe during this Halloween season. Don't smoke crack. Solid way to end this. I know I'm forgetting something. I love you. Always remember.
Do your go-to line.
Always remember to listen, think, and then talk. Is that my go-to?
No, your go-to was the whole.
What?
Storyline? Which one? Was it Let's Tell a Story? What was it?
Oh, let's make some memories.
There we go. There we go. Smooth.